Okay, take three. We're going on to the Chimera War. The Chimera War is an ongoing war that involves thousands of sanctuaries from around the world, most led by chimeras. The conflict revolves around GenMat, a resource required to sustain clones and complete the Chimera project. While sanctuaries once worked together, the dwindling supply of uncorrupted GenMat led to a battle of self-preservation. After the fall of global governments, some chimeras took hostile action to steal GenMat. Rippling effect occurred that forced other sanctuaries to do the same. Amongst the fighting, the Chimera project carries on individually in each sanctuary. It's generally accepted that if a Chimera develops full immunity to the cryogenic virus, they will be able to wield it like a weapon. Other Chimeras will likely agree to whatever terms are offered in exchange for their final step in evolution, and the remnants of humanity will do the same for the vaccine developed from an immune Chimera. The outcome is dependent on which sanctuary wins the war, and the morality or lack thereof behind its inhabitants' motives. Given the segmented research, it's also possible that extinction will overcome both humans and chimeras before the project can be completed. Yeah, and that will be the primary concern. We're too busy shanking each other to actually get it done. And while there may be thousands of sanctuaries, that may be a present count. Who knows how many there were previously? So as bad as GenMat may be, like dwindling, precious resource, imagine how bad the drain would have been on it before the war. You know, with all those extra clones, all that going on. Though one thing, a resource required to sustain clones and complete the Chimera project. That sounds like two different costs. What we've seen is when we get GenMat, we feed it to a clone, and that is then fed to the Chimera. So, do they mean the sub-clones? Do they do the clones that, like we talk about down here, Alpida and all and her kin? Do they get a separate feeding of GenMat to keep themselves going? Like, I'm just curious in the logistics and costs here. So, mm. But yeah, from the looks of it, it's all too likely that humans and chimeras will just keel over before the project can be completed. Though I do wonder, they said only most are led by chimera, not all. Though I imagine all sanctuaries have a chimera. Remember, one of the advisors made a remark that said that we're made as a warrior, not a consul, and not to distract the chimera from the job at hand. Consul was a leader during the Roman Republic. After the Roman people's terrible time with the monarchy, the Roman monarchy, they led an uprising and instituted the Republic, led by two consuls. If one was crazy, then the other could counterbalance. And they were voted in by I'm not sure if they're decided on by the Senate or itself, or was there a wider voting base? They ruled for a few years, then got a cushy job to build some cash. I think they could alternatively go on like military campaign, or was that a separate thing? But that's IRL lore, not Meet Your Maker lore, so we'll deal with that a separate day. Till then.